Hey, what's up guys? Spencer Rhodes here, and this is my video about Father Gabriel and whether or not Father Gabriel will get his comic death. Okay, so basically in the comics, Father Gabriel dies, in case you don't already know. He dies during the Whisperer War, which, if we're going by the TV show, the comics are always a few seasons ahead of the TV show, and if they go at the pace that they are going, the Whisperer War will happen in the back half of Season 9. I can almost guarantee it. The back half of Season 9 will be the Whisperer War. I really don't want them to drag it out. It's not a very long story. There's not a lot of substance. So I really don't want them to drag it out and just make it really, try to make it like 2 seasons. I really think the first half of Season 9 can be kind of like the happy new beginning. We spend maybe the first couple of episodes where everything is mostly okay, and the only threat is Negan being locked up, and the audience thinks that, Negan's going to be the big bad, he's going to break out, and he's going to be the big villain. And then in episode 3, we get what happens in the comics, where a few guys go out, and most of them but one get killed, and he sees people in the masks talking, and then that's the introduction to the Whisperers. That's the introduction to the Whisperers, and then we meet Alpha and Lydia, and all of that stuff happens. Lydia ends up with Carl. If Enid's still alive, they can do something different. Maybe Alpha doesn't have a daughter, or Lydia is just maybe she has a platonic relationship with Carl. Maybe it's a love triangle. I don't know. It all leads up to pretty much what happens in the comics, where Rick and Alpha cross paths, and Alpha says, "Look, you people just stay on your side." And she sets a kind of a border line, and it's made up of spikes with the heads of characters that lived in Alexandria, that they had snuck into Alexandria and decapitated a shitload of people and put their heads on spikes. Ezekiel, Rosita, Amber, that's the blonde girl that's one of Negan's wives, and a bunch of other characters. And then that's going to be the end of the first half. That's going to be the end of the first half of Season 9. I don't know for sure, but I can almost 99% guarantee that's how the first half of Season 9 is going to go down. The second half is going to be Rick and everyone getting ready for battle and getting ready for war and wanting to fight the Whisperers. And maybe the first couple of episodes, maybe the first 2 or 3 episodes can be the characters getting ready and setting up everything, and then the last 5 can be nothing but fighting. It's really a short story. All that war was 20 issues, 12 issues, 12 issues. And then the Whisperer War was 6 issues, and so it can definitely be shorter than it's a 6-issue story, and each issue is 15 pages, so they could easily condense that into 5 or 6 episodes. But even if the Whisperer War kind of leaks into the beginning of season 10, and we see the fallout or the end of the Whisperer War and the premiere of Season 10, or the first few episodes of Season 10, and we see the fallout and all of that stuff. Father Gabriel's death during the Whisperer War is one of the first things that happens. It's in part 1 or part 2 out of the 6 parts, so it happens kind of early on, and it pretty much has to happen at the beginning, because that's really how the fighting starts. Because Father Gabriel is put on the tower. He's on the tower, and he's keeping watch, and he's going to warn Dwight, who's the leader of this the army, basically the military that's fighting the Whisperers. White's the leader, and then Father Gabriel's job is to be on the tower and keep watch for walkers or Whisperers, and to alert them if something happens. And I think, I'm not sure exactly what happens. I think Gabriel gets injured somehow. Maybe he gets shot or he just falls. He's kind of a doofus in the comics. He kind of dies like a coward. But he falls, and it's a really high up tower so that he can see everything. But he falls down it, and he gets stuck like near the bottom, and his leg rips open, and his bone's sticking out, and he's wincing in pain. And then Beta's one of the Whisperers. He comes up to Father Gabriel, and Father Gabriel is asking for help, and Beta just disembowels Gabriel and walks off. And that's how Gabriel dies in the comics. So I think this would be an excellent way. Sorry, I keep stuttering. An excellent way to kill off the character, because usually the best, most gruesome, violent deaths in The Walking Dead get adapted pretty close to the way they happen in the comics. Like, Abraham gets shot through the eye with an arrow in the comics, but that was lame, so they gave it to another character. And then Morgan died in No Way Out, but his death was kind of lame. And, he had just joined the main cast, so that would have really been shitty to kill him off that early. So they didn't do that, but, Glenn, they gave him that death. And, who else? Jessie, they gave her comic death. So a lot of the most violent, most memorable deaths happen in the show, and I think Father Gabriel's death would be a really good death to adapt in the show. The only difference would be that Gabriel doesn't die like a bitch. His story and his development has set him up to be someone that's brave, that's heroic, that's selfless, that is at peace with his sins. Well, maybe not his sins, but he's at peace with his role in Rick's group, and is willing to lay down his life. And he's still a strong religiously tied character. So in his final moments, he'll probably say something like, I've confessed my sins to God, I'm ready to go. So if he does get caught on that ladder, on that tower, and Beta walks up to him, Gabriel knows he's gonna die, and he's not gonna die like a bitch. Like, he just gets some really badass, epic final line of dialogue. Like, maybe he spits in Beta's face and growls at Beta. Well, maybe not growl, but like give Beta a really nasty look, like, your people are going to lose, we're going to win, you just don't know it yet, and I've made my peace with God, good luck going to heaven, because I don't know if you will. Like, that was horrible, but like something along those lines, like just something really epic and insulting to Beta. And then Beta, of course, disembowels him. And, because Father Gabriel's death is, in the comics, just one of the cooler moments of the Whisperer War. And, I think they absolutely should give him the death. It's just, he dies kind of like a bitch, kind of like a coward, because in the comics he is a bitch and he is a coward. And in the show, he is more heroic, and he's become more of a warrior and more of a brave fighter. So basically, I think he should get his comic death. So he will die in the back half of season 9. I mean, I guess they could delay it to season 10, but I mean, does anyone really want that? Do we need that much of Father Gabriel? He's been on the show for a while. I think the back half of season 9 is fine, season 9 is going to need some familiar deaths, like some familiar characters dying. Rosita and Ezekiel will probably get their comic deaths, but that's not enough for one season. So I think Gregory will get hung if he doesn't get hung earlier. But Father Gabriel should also die, I think, and I think this is a really good death for him. I think it could hit the right note, and it would be a good way for him to go out. And I think Seth Gilliam is a really talented actor, and I would like to see him. Get trapped on that tower, get stuck, and go out like a boss. And I just think he has really good acting chops, and I would like to see him act out that death. So I think his death should be the same. But I think his character should go out with a different impact. Like, his character should be more heroic and not die like a bitch. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Don't be shy. Hit that like and subscribe. I'm not going anywhere. Guys, we are past 250 subscribers. We're at 255 currently. I'm going to make a special video about the 250 subscribers. I just didn't have too much time today. But and then yesterday was Thanksgiving. But I you know, and I could have rushed it, but I don't want to rush it. I want it to be good. So that should be coming up very soon in the next 2 or 3 days, I can guarantee. So keep a lookout for that. And thank you everyone for your support. I appreciate every single one of you. Sorry I keep fucking stuttering. Anyway, thank you for your support. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do so. We have a lot of content on this channel, and there's plenty more to come. Anyway, I'm Spencer Rhodes. I will see you guys later. Bye.